Hey everybody, Judy Seeger back as your host for the Ozone Therapy Summit. So glad to have you guys back, especially for this secret interview that you don't really know much about because we haven't really said anything except that we have a very special guest on here who is a dear friend of mine. I respect her a great deal. And she wants to share her story about using ozone therapy in her own life. So when you hear a practitioner doing it and seeing the results, I thought this is a perfect time for you guys to hear it from her perspective. So Dr. V, thank you so much for being on here.
Thanks for having me, Judy. It's been awesome, as always.
Yeah, as always, we have a good time. And you are the breast cancer conqueror, and want to put that right out there because that's how I first met you. So just tell us briefly your story about that journey, and then we'll go into the whole ozone therapy for you.
Well, I'd been in practice for about, 25 years, and I'd been really involved in bioenergetic testing and energy medicine, which really was unheard of, back in 2004 or such. And I was in the shower getting ready for work, and then bam, felt that lump in my breast that changed the course of my personal and professional life forever. And I knew that I did not want to do traditional medicine. So I really dove in and recognized that I had been missing some pieces of the puzzle. How could somebody like me develop cancer? I had been, eating organic before organic was in style. I mean, I was exercising under chiropractic care. I thought I was doing everything right. But then here I was faced with this dilemma of this lump in my left breast. So that, led me down the road of a lot of soul searching and deep dives into research and really asking myself, what was I missing? And if I was missing pieces of the puzzle after being in practice for 25 years, how much more so would the average person? So that's what led me to create what I call the 7 essential system, 7 basic steps that if you follow, you never have to fear cancer or any disease again. So that's kind of our trademark right now, 7 essential system. And that led me to write a book called Heal Breast Cancer Naturally. And the rest is history. We've coached women in 39 countries, and my team is just very dedicated and very supportive of these women that are very traumatized by breast cancer diagnosis.
And what's your website, Dr. V?
It's breastcancerconqueror.com. And, our mission and our passion is to empower women so they never have to fear breast cancer again.
Yeah, and your program is excellent. We send people back and forth all the time, and everybody has raved about you and loves the program, loves everything that you have, plus your retreats, and you just have a lot of stuff. So we encourage everybody to go out there. We will have the link here for people to check out as well. But let's get into the whole ozone therapy. I really didn't know you were into it until we got chatting, and I was like, oh, this is great that it's somebody else who's using it. So tell us, first of all, what is it about the ozone therapy that got you interested in it?
Well, like anything else, I'm very research oriented, and I'd always, heard about ozone and different clinics using ozone. But when I really started diving into the research and seeing that, it had been around for over 100 years and studies were showing that it was affecting everything from lung cancer, breast cancer, colon cancer, up to 90%, killing off those unhealthy cells. So that was a big aha moment, and recognizing, the whole mechanism of how ozone works. I mean, we know that cancer cells use fermentation. They don't use oxygenation. And so therefore, if we add more free oxygen by ozone, then that's going to really interfere with their production. And we know that ozone supports ATP, and ATP supports mitochondria, and the mitochondria is, key when it comes, those are the little batteries in our cells that produce the energy. And so if we have healthy mitochondria, then we're going to be less likely to develop unhealthy cells.
Right. So when you were searching and looking around, you found this ozone therapy. Did you go to a clinic or somewhere first? Did you get one for yourself, or how did you start administering it?
Yeah, I got one myself. We can purchase them and have them in for our home use. So you can ozonate the water and drink the water. You can also do it vaginally or rectally. And it's really easy because in my case, I like to do things quickly. So if I'm doing a coffee enema, then I can do vaginal ozone at the same time. And it saves time. It does two therapies at once. And I could really, when I use ozone regularly, I mean, it's amazing the impact that it has on my energy. In the past, I used to have problems with, fungus, nail fungus, and that sort of thing, completely cleared. No matter what kind of herbs and programs I did in the past, the ozone, cleared that up beautifully. So, I've seen the results personally. And then I also have, many clients who've used ozones either in clinics or at home, and, seeing some pretty amazing stories.
When you first started using the ozone, I know I had Lyme disease years ago. When I first used it, I was like, wow, I feel so great. I have all this energy all of a sudden. It just permeates your cells with that extra oxygen, right? Did you get those kind of benefits, or what did you see specifically when you first started using it?
Yeah, definitely. I could feel, within the first, 30 minutes after an infusion, it was just like, wow, the battery charge was turned on, and I could really feel a difference, a lot more clarity, mental clarity as well. I love what it's done for my mouth. And periodontal issues, no matter how much I flossed and cleansed and did all that, the oil pulling with infused with ozone has just, been amazing.
Wait, I have not heard that yet. That's a great idea.
Oh, really?
Oil pulling with the ozone infused. So tell us just how you do that, because I've not heard anybody say that.
Well, you can do it the hard way and do olive oil. And do it yourself, which is kind of painstaking process, or you can actually purchase now. There's different companies out there.
The ozonated olive oil, yeah.
Or coconut oil flavored peppermint, which is really nice. So yeah, it works really, really well.
No, but wait, so then you just take a spoonful and you just do it like, because I know oil pulling, a lot of people have that. But then as far as the do you need anything else, or you just take it with it and then that's it?
Yeah, it's just infused in the oil, and so it has it has ozone in it by the taste and the smell. But you just do oil pulling, swish it around in your mouth for 10 to 15 minutes, and it's amazing how healthy my gums have become as a result.
Now, I have heard using the ozonated olive oil, putting it in your gums, just putting it on and sleeping with it at night. Yeah. A lot of people I know do that, but the oil pulling is a brilliant idea because that helps for the gums and all that. Have you found that anything with the teeth itself, or is it just for the gums?
Mostly for the gums, yeah. And then I went to see a dentist in Texas, near Austin, and he specializes in cavitations and all that. And I had a couple of little issues with cavitations, and he also does a plaque test. So he scrapes underneath the gum and puts it on a slide to look at it under a big microscope. And I was totally clean. He's just like amazed at how clean my gums were. So it definitely makes a difference.
Wow. I just learned something. I didn't even know it could be used that way. So that's awesome. Yeah. So you recommend this to other people that you consult with. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, that's, a lot of women that we coach, my team and I coach. I don't really do much personal coaching anymore, but I've got 2 coaches that, take care and support women. And if they have, real heavy issues with pathogens, which we know all breast cancer patients do, whether it's viral, fungal, candida, bacterial, whatever, parasites, we know that ozone is very effective against pathogens because it interferes with the cell wall of many of these pathogens and weakens them. It boosts your immune system. It can kill off the unhealthy cells that are, leading to breast cancer. So it's got a lot of benefits, and that's one of the therapies that we recommend. We give them a whole list of things that they can look at, and ozone is one of them.
Right. And so, Dr. V, the one thing that we do want to emphasize is that why we love ozone therapy, and we see the great benefits you've seen, of course, in your life, and I have in mine, it's not the magic bullet. There has to be other things. So you have the 7 essentials, which are super important, and then you integrate the ozone therapy or offer that to the people, correct?
Correct. And That's such a good point to bring out, because not one thing is going to create your vibrant health. It's got to be a series of things, and ozone is just one of the therapies that can be there to support the process. It's not the only thing, but it's one of many things.
Right. See, and that's so important. I'm glad we're on the same page and everybody else hears that again and again and again. You have to put the whole picture together. Detoxing is very important with the ozone, but the food and all the things that you recommend in your 7 essentials, and I recommend everybody to get it because it's such a great comprehensive book. So that's the whole thing about ozone therapy. Is there anything else we want to tell people about ozone therapy?
Well, aside from helping your body deal with any type of pathogens and boosting your immune system, it's just a good overall cleanser, to do just as a preventative. Why wait until you have this, scary diagnosis when you can do things to help improve your health and prevent things from escalating to a point where you have dis-ease or a diagnosis in your body.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We want to get it from both ends of the spectrum, that people who need to prevent because they have history of cancer in their family, they need to deal with that, or people who are on their healing journey as well. So I appreciate you sharing the story with us, Dr. V. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, Dr. Judy.
You bet. And we will have more great experts on here on the next series. We'll catch you on the next interview.